In my previous videos, we talked a lot about the red flags, the marketing myths, and things to avoid. But it is just as important, if not more important, to understand what excellence truly looks like. How do you spot a genuine world-class result? A week or so ago, Dr. Ted Miln posted a 12-month result on his Instagram, and that was so good actually that I was blown away. I left that comment because it's true, it's one of the most natural results that I have ever seen, and I found the patient's public thread on the Hair Restoration Network, and today I'm going to do a deep dive analysis. We'll break down the specific details that makes these results undetectable. Consider this a masterclass. Okay, here's the patient's thread, 2,400 grafts, 12 months post-operation. This is here before hair transplant pictures, classic temple recession. Here is his pre-operative, drawn, so the line and all the outline areas, including temple pics, which is really good to see. His implantations, extractions, really looking good to be honest, and we're gonna talk about it. And this is a 12-month result. This is what I was talking about. It is simply wow. And let me be 100% clear, I have no financial relationship or any affiliation with Dr. Ted Miln or his clinic for that matter whatsoever. I'm not being paid for this. I'm using this case as a public gold standard example of what an elite work actually looks like and what you should be demanding. If we all start demanding such world-class results, even hair mills will have to step up their game to be relevant. So why is it so undetectable? Let's analyze these 4 critical details. First, the hairline. This is the definition of plant imperfection. It is not straight, hard line, as we saw in the sebum's case. Look at the micro irregularities and staggering of the hair follicles, like the way it's soft and, random. This is what separates a technician from an artist. A technician, can be trained to copy-paste a dense line that is, technical pattern, but a natural hairline has no pattern. By definition, it's chaotic and imperfect. You cannot really learn how to, recreate that from a textbook. The surgeon must be an artist who can visualize that, controlled randomness and build from scratch, one graft at a time. That is what you are seeing here in this particular result. This is the polar opposite of the, straight tree plantation so-called that we see from these high-volume clinics. Those clinics often use multi-hair grafts, doubles or even triple sometimes, right at the very front because it's faster and it creates a better illusion of density so-called. And Dr. Ted Miln has clearly used only the finest single hair grafts, for the very first row to blend them perfectly. This is the true artistry, and this is the #1 reason why this result looks so natural and undetectable. This brings up to a critical point that I want to hear from you. What do you personally consider, more important for an excellent result? It is a perfectly, dense but straight hairline, or softer, more natural, but less dense hairline like we see here? Let me know in the comments down below your philosophy, and would be curious to know. The second one, and this is the detail that many people miss is the angulation and the directions, of hair. Look at how transplanted hair, flows in this area. It perfectly mimics the patient's native hair growth pattern. Here we can see the implantation angles. They look, quite flat to the skin, and you cannot really tell which area is transplanted and which is not, which is his natural hair. Especially looking at the temple pics, where is the transition between the transplanted and not transplanted hair? They blend really well, and it gives this incredible structure to his face. In many low quality jobs, the hair is implanted at almost 90-degree angle, sticking straight up. It's fast to do, but it looks really like a doll hair, and it's impossible to style naturally. With such transplants, people are stuck essentially with only styling it up. And you remember in my previous video what I said, the freedom to style in any way you want or not to style it at all. That's the ultimate goal. And here you can see the hair is placed at, very acute forward facing angle that mimics the natural, hair flow. This is meticulous, this is time consuming, and this work creates the natural flow that you cannot really identify as a transplant. This is a pure surgical skill. The third detail isn't in the after photos, it's in the plan. The patient received 2,400 grafts. This is quite conservative and strategic number. Hairmill might have tried to sell this patient on a 4,000 grafts, mega session, promising this unrealistic density. But an elite surgeon understands that the goal isn't to use the most amount of grafts, it's to use the right amount of grafts to achieve a natural, sustainable result. And this 2,400 graft plan creates this fantastic, supernaturally looking while leaving thousands of grafts in reserve for the future. If this guy starts to recede further behind, his hairline in the temples, for example, or even crown, every graft in the donor will count. Since we're talking about the donor management. Look at these extractions, they're random. The doctor strategically, has taken hairs from all over the place, all over the donor area. This is the correct approach. Removing homogeneously from all around ensures that there is no visible, drop in density from all of this area. And you cannot really distinguish between extracted and non-extracted zones. It's worth mentioning that the punch size has been used. It looks pretty small and it's strategically been extracted from all around this area, and the end result, it's incredible. Look at a 12-month donor picture. After 2,500 extractions, this is pristine. This is immaculate. There's zero sign of overharvesting, and there's no moth-eaten appearance and no visible depletion, obviously. It just looks normal. The surgeon treated the donor as a finite bank account. He protected the patient's future. This is the mark of an ethical, responsible long-term strategy. It's what separates a true professional from a production line. This process you just watched, this deep dive micro-analysis of surgeons' artistry and strategy, this is the exact service I provide on my one-on-one consultations. It is designed to give you an unbiased expert opinion on your shortlisted clinics to help you identify the same level of quality. If you're currently in a planning stage and want this level of analysis on your plan, the link to book a call is in the description. So as you can see, the reason this particular result is undetectable isn't magic. It's a combination of meticulous artistry, perfect angulation, and ethical donor management. This is the gold standard. This is the level of quality I will always champion on this channel, and it is the standard that you should be aiming for. That's all for today. Thanks so much for watching.